All right, we made it to the NASCAR playoffs, and we're kicking off round one here with the Darlington Southern 500. Uh, Probably, honestly, one of my favorite races of the year. I love just coming to Darlington. I love the racing that we get. How it puts it more into the driver's skill set. But we got a 500-mile race. So it's going to be a long race tonight. With that, we have 367 laps. So it's going to be pretty high scoring DFS slate. You're going to need those dominators. You're going to need those place differential plays to come through. Probably going to be, some different wrecks and crashes throughout the night that are going to tilt the slate, one way or the other. We're going to probably see a variety of different lap leaders, different strategies. This place eats up tires too, so there should be comers and goers. So a lot of things to look forward to. But as far as DFS purposes go, we got a mix of, kind of some drivers that start obviously towards the front and then some drivers that start in the back. And I think it's going to be trying to find the right combination of those drivers in the front and back to hopefully have a good DFS day tonight. So we got Hamlin, Truex, Larson, Byron, and Busch in the upper range here. I'm just going to say right now, I'm not really getting to Kyle Busch today. I think he's fine. I don't have him projected nearly as high as the other drivers in the 10K range. So from there, it kind of comes down to Hamlin versus Bell. What do you do? Do you play one of them? Do you play both of them? The nice thing about Christopher Bell is he gives you a nice discount off of Denny Hamlin. You're able to build a much more of a balanced line. You're able to upgrade some of your lower, value or lower price plays if you are playing Hamlin versus if you pivot to Bell. And Bell has, he controls the restart. He's a great chance to lead laps. Both of them have a great chance to lead laps. So I'm going to have lines of, just Hamlin, lines of just Bell, maybe a line playing them both together. Because I think, again, it's a long night. We're going to see comers and goers, different drivers leading laps. Both of them were very fast in practice as well. Hamlin did win the Xfinity race yesterday. We know how good he is at this track. So I like having at least one of Hamlin or Bell in your lineups as your early lap leader, and then trying to get some place differential plays in your line that have the ability to lead laps maybe later in the race. Those types of plays are going to be Truex, Larson, and Byron. So for me, I want some early lap leader. That's going to be Hamlin or Bell. And then I want to pair those drivers with a Truex, Larson, or Byron, maybe even Chastain in that mix as well. Truex, he did get into the wall in practice. He got loose in his qualifying effort. Starts deep in the field, but we know how good he is here. He's just methodically going to work his way up through the front towards the front of the field. But Truex is going to be stupid high owned. So if you're looking for like a pivot option, how can I try to get a little bit different? Maybe you come under the weight on Truex because maybe he has an issue happen to him, or maybe he isn't able to get up front. I'm still going to have a ton of Truex, but if you're trying to find leverage points, that's a potential leverage point. Maybe you go to Byron. Byron did win this race earlier in the spring. He's still going to be high owned, but he's not nearly going to be as high owned as Truex. Same with Chastain. I don't love Chastain just based off of the momentum that he has coming into this week. But if you're looking for a pivot option, you're trying to get different, maybe try to fade off Truex there. Larson is going to look to rebound from the mechanical issues that he had yesterday in the Xfinity series. He's very good here. Didn't have a great qualifying effort, just like Byron did, but we can see that these cars have speed on the long run. We know the Hendrick cars are going to be good here. So I want at least two of, if not three of, Hamlin, Truex, Larson, Byron, Chastain, and Bell in my lines. Those are going to be kind of the five drivers that I'm building around, and Chastain is kind of distant, play there. So it's really Hamlin, Truex, Larson, Byron, and Bell. I want at least two of those drivers in every single line, if not three. Not really getting to Kevin Harvick today. I think he's, just like Kyle Busch. I think he's fine. I just don't have him projected to score nearly as high as some other plays. Tyler Reddick, maybe if you're looking for a contrarian lap leader, maybe something happens to Hamlin and Bell. Maybe Bell and Hamlin get together. Hey, who's sitting in the catbird seat right there to take advantage of it? Tyler Reddick, and who's also pretty good at running the high line and getting speed, Tyler Reddick. And don't sleep on, Reddick starting third. So not going to have a ton of Reddick, but I'm definitely going to sprinkle him into some lines. Not getting to Logano today. Just haven't been great on the intermediate tracks. Even though he starts sixth, I don't project him to finish or score too well today. I'm going to temper my expectations with both the RFK cars. If any team has momentum right now, it's Chris Buescher coming into this playoff race. But looking at the tracks that he won at, it was a road course, a short track, and a super speedway. We're kind of back on the intermediate tracks, at least for this round. So, there's a combination of tracks in this round, but for this race specifically, I just trying to temper expectations. It's still kind of an expensive price tag to pay, and both of them start a little bit close to the front of the field. I think there's some other value a little bit cheaper, like Ryan Blaney, for example, kind of a similar play to Reddick. Pretty cheap, $8,600, starts fourth, had pretty good long run car. So maybe you sprinkle him to your line. It's just a driver that can get you fast laps, or a driver that potentially could lead laps. With 367 laps, those dominator points are really going to get spread out. And there's a lot of opportunities to earn points throughout the race tonight. So maybe Blaney can get to the lead. Chase Elliott is not in the driver playoffs, but he did make the owners playoffs. So he still has something to race for, $8,400 for a Hendrick Motorsports car. This is the cheapest we've seen Chase Elliott in quite some time. I wasn't great in practice, but again, a Hendrick Motorsports car for $8,400 with some place differential upside. I like that. But my favorite play of the 8K range is going to be Bubba Wallace. It's a playoff car, starts 19th. It was really fast in practice. Didn't have the best qualifying effort, but I like the upside that Bubba Wallace offers. Not going to get to Eric Jones today, just way too expensive. Suarez, Bowman, McDowell, Gibbs, and Stenhouse. A lot of DFS players are probably going to land in this range when they're trying to round out their lines, depending on how low on the slate that they're going. So for me, my favorite plays are going to be Bowman, probably followed by Stenhouse and Gibbs. I like Bowman the best just because of the equipment that he's in, where he starts, his price. And then I would probably go to Stenhouse for cash games just because of his practice times and where he starts. But I really like Gibbs too. I don't know how many people are going to play Ty Gibbs. It's a JGR car, $7,200 starting 17th. Starting 17th might keep some people off of him, but I think he can easily, finish outside the top 10 or low teens finish. And we know how good his JGR teammates are here too. So hopefully, they can take some of that data, some of that setup, and apply it to Gibbs cars, his car there. Austin Dillon's going to carry ownership. I'm probably going to be under the field on Austin Dillon. I just don't love his practice times. I'd much rather go to Stenhouse, Gibbs, or Bowman. Not really getting the Suarez a ton. I have him as medium. I just like the other three drivers here that I mentioned a little bit more. Michael McDowell starts ninth. Be fun to watch from a fan perspective, but from a DFS perspective, I just have a hard time plugging him into my lines. And then really the whole 6K range, I want to pretty much avoid. I'm not getting the Almirola. I'm not getting the Briscoe. I'm not getting the AJ. I'm not getting the Corey. Cindric, maybe. Never feels good playing Cindric. He just, for whatever reason, just struggles. But he did show decent practice times, which is encouraging. Have a good qualifying effort. So, maybe he can finish in the teens for $6,100 and score decently well. I would much rather just pay down, go to Ryan Preece. Wasn't necessarily fast, but it's just cool to see him back racing. Some of the pictures of him from after that Daytona wreck are crazy, with how bloodshot his eyes are and how bruised he is. So glad that he's just okay and competing in the event. But you have to wonder if, he says he's okay and he's cleared the race, but this is a long, enduring race. So you got to, maybe keep that into consideration if you're plugging him to your line, if, just how he's able to perform, or, how his body's going to just condition with the long race tonight. Hocevar starts 15th, which is crazy in this 42 machine. So really cool for Hocevar, but from DFS purposes, not going to get there. Ryan Newman was super slow, and he's expensive. If you're going to play Ryan Newman, you might as well just punt all the way to the bottom of the field and play BJ McLeod. Haley and Burton are going to be my two favorite punt plays today. I like playing them. One of them, I like playing potentially both of them together, depending on how high you want to go or how aggressive you're getting with the top end of your slate. And if you can't get to Haley or Burton, I don't mind Todd Gill in there. He starts deep. I think he's a fine option. Yaley, maybe not really getting to Ty Dillon today. And I don't hate PJ McLeod either. Yeah, he's the slowest car. Chances of mechanical issue are definitely higher than a lot of other people's, but he starts dead last, 500 mile race, 367 laps. We know drivers are going to wreck out. We know drivers are going to get into the wall. We know, people are going to get aggressive here late in this race. Even if PJ McLeod goes like 10, 12, 14 laps down, if he stays on track, you can easily project him for a 28th, 29th, even like a 30th place finish. So, and if it allows you to stack, the Hamlins, the Truexes, the Larsons, the Byrons, the Bells, the Bubba Wallaces, the Bowmans, like, I think you can make a case for playing McLeod today. So hopefully that's helpful. Racing, I think, starts at 6 o'clock Eastern time or something like that. So still plenty of time today to build lines. I know this is also the last NASCAR weekend before NFL comes around. So, just appreciate everyone sticking around and continuing to watch and give us support and helping our channel grow too. So, good luck today, and let's enjoy the rest of the night.